Hi, my name is Jonathan DeLeon, and I'm the Business Development Manager for Focus First. Now, you might have found yourself on our YouTube channel after seeing a video about house pricing or some concept that is called the new CMA. But you might be wondering, what is Focus First? So in this short video, let me explain very basically, very cleanly, and very kind of quickly what Focus First is and why you as a real estate agent should start using it today. Now, the simple answer is that Focus First is a software tool. It helps you create awesome graphs that really impact your customers and explain the real estate market and bring it from a complex concept to a simple idea. Now, it will help you land more listings, sell more homes, and build a better client list. Now, it does this by letting you use your own search to upload to the software to create custom graphs that really kind of impact your customers in great ways because they can understand it. And from that, lets you get in a position to win. Not just in your listings and win more listings themselves, but have your listings sell and win on the open market. Now, it all started when a man named Tim DeLeon transitioned from being a HP engineer for over 25 years and had moved into real estate and joined a company called The Group as a full-time agent. Now, what ended up happening for him is he got to selling real estate. And what ended up happening was he was asking a very simple question that most people that sell real estate have been asked. When is the best time to sell my house? Now, for most agents, they were able to answer this question pretty easily and just kind of say, well, with me, anytime's good, or, based on the momentum of the market, et cetera, et cetera. But Tim was a little different. He came from an engineering background where he understood that the data was there. And if the data is there, he should be able to answer that question not just in platitudes, but in a real substantive answer. So, that being said, he thought, how could I use the data to answer this question? And how could I use the data to answer the other questions I kept hearing time and time again from sellers and buyers? Specifically, how long should it take to sell my house? What are the odds my house sells? And the all-important question, what is my house actually worth today? So he went out there and said, all right, I'm going to take this data, I'm going to find a way to answer these questions. So one by one, he went through the key questions first and was able to predict the customer selling experience. He was able to understand how long it should take, when the most active time is, and really understand what the odds are that the house would sell based on their neighborhood and based on the competition. Then he said, okay, now that I can predict that customer experience, how do I move on to the big one? How do I get to a point where I can price really accurately and really answer that question of what is my home actually worth? And kind of do this in a better way than we traditionally have done it. You see, the old CMA was not enough. His eureka moment was that everything else in the world is not priced on what things sold for in the past, because nothing else is doing that. Can you imagine going to a car dealership and say, I want to buy this car, but what it sold for 6, 8, or 9 months ago? They'd laugh you out of the building. So, is there a way that I can kind of have this moment and go from this old process, which is really about just understanding the subject property, compare to recent sales, and then basically move up and down as best you can on a nice guess? But can I move from this into a new process that really answers this in a way that current market trends are going, like everything else is priced? So what he understood is that the term CMA needed to be redefined. It was no longer this old comparative process, but now it needed to be competitive. It needed to actively position itself based on what the market was saying today and what it was going to be saying in the future. So he created a new process for himself about understanding the subject property, understanding the area trends and patterns, find that value still based on the solds like you would in the traditional one, but then going further than that. Competitively position the listing, present it in a way that clients really understood it, and if it wasn't selling, learning how to reposition it to make sure it was in the right place in the market. So he took this concept and said, all right, I'm going to use this idea and I'm going to create graphs and create some software things for myself to have good results. And what ended up happening? He was able to actively position his listings, identify opportunity for buyers and sellers, and sell more homes. So it was working, and he loved it. Well, pretty soon, someone took notice. His wife, Joanne DeLeon, who is a top real estate agent and has now moved into real estate coaching, saw that and said, oh my gosh, what are you doing? How is this working? Well, he explained it to her and she loved it. And she said, You should share this with other agents. Which Tim DeLeon came out and said, no thanks. This was something that he had built for himself. He had just transitioned from software and from doing this kind of work into selling real estate. And he really was just kind of keeping it kind of behind closed doors or for his own competitive advantage and really just using it that way. But Joanne DeLeon saw that there was another venue for this and that people could really learn this process and be benefited greatly. So she said, no, we have to share this. So what she ended up doing is she was able to go speak on a stage. She sold over $10,000 worth of little basic CDs of his pre-formatted spreadsheets that created the same graphs that Tim ended up creating. And guess what? Tim couldn't say no anymore. And thanks to that moment, the Focus First software is now used by real estate agents across the U.S. and through all of Canada and some of the other kind of outlying islands like the Virgin Islands and the Bahamas. And agents all across the world then at this point love it because it works with customized graphs that are easy to understand and really helps them be competitive both in their presentation and when they list the home and they end up winning. It's one of those things that has spread so greatly and it had so much value that it's used by top agents in basically every major company now, and it's taught by top training agencies. It's absolutely loved because of the value that it provides to the agent and how it really conveys that value to customers. And part of the reason why it's loved so much is obviously it is a software program that creates unique graphs that are customized to the customer and answers those key questions, but it comes with so much more. The Focus First methodology, the Focus First system, and the Focus First subscription comes with software, additional uses for the software to help generate business through a process of real estate reviews, and other things that are done for you like the FHFA appreciation graphs and the templates to send those out. All of this comes with Focus First and has been a great value to agents and really improved their business. If you want to learn more about Focus First and understand more about the software, check us out at focusfirst.com or watch any of the videos here on our YouTube channel.